The Wave. 94.5 and 93.7 FM. The Hits.
All right, Behind the Business brought to you compliments Quartz Ready Cash. If you are struggling because you don't have enough money for bills, repairs, or an emergency, you got to stop worrying, because with Quartz Ready Cash, you could get the money you need now. You could get up to $20,000. No deposit is required, and the service is fast and hassle-free. Yes, same-day approval as well. Visit any branch where you can apply online, www.readyfinancecaribbean.com. Contact Quartz Ready Cash today and start fresh with the cash you need. Quartz Ready Cash, ready when you are. And we are ready to go. Tuesdays are now my favorite day of the week, let me tell y'all, because we get inspired on a Tuesday. We're going behind the business, the brands that you know and love, the faces that you know and may not know. This is where we all bring it together. So today we're going behind the business of the dresser. And let me tell you, she is on a point as always. Today we are joined by the owner of the dresser, Amy Trisha Schwartz, but we're gonna call her Trisha.
Yes, that's fine.
That's
Hi,
fine.
everyone.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, it's a pleasure to have you on today. You look fabulous as always, Trisha.
Thank you so much. And funny enough, today I didn't style myself. I let my team style me today. So I'm very, very happy that they have me looking all radiant this afternoon.
Right.
So what do you think, guys?
Yee, 10 out of 10. So you have a team. We'll get into all of that as well. So let's start off with you as a person. Who is Trisha Schwartz?
Funny enough, I am actually quite shy when I get
You
in front
lie.
of... It's true.
Really?
I like to work behind the scenes.
Okay.
And I really like to motivate and push the people around me to be a better version of themselves. I walk into a room sometimes, and because I'm taller than most people, automatically, people look at me. And before, I used to be quite uncomfortable with it, but now I embrace it, and I look at it as that I could set an example for the people who are watching and the people who are looking, which ties into my work at the dresser, because I also believe in everybody being beautiful, no matter your skin color, your size, your height, because it's something that I struggled with when I was younger, my identity and owning who I really was. So I've come a long way.
Wow. I like that. But Trisha, when you step into a room, you own it. And that's something you had to develop, right?
At first, I had to fake it, and then...
fake it till you make it.
It is actually true. It works. Half the time I would be nervous, but it wouldn't show. And I started off doing pageantry when I was younger.
Yes.
And I would literally put Vaseline on my teeth so that I would constantly be smiling.
Really?
So it would appear natural because I was so nervous.
Wow. Now, you mentioned that you did pageantry. Now, a lot of people assume that persons who get into pageantry are overly confident and all that. But you've done that. We've seen you model. We've seen your music videos as well. So
it's quite the opposite, actually. I believe that pageantry and the beauty industry have actually taught young women to find themselves and to become themselves and to own themselves and to basically evolve over the years. So I see it as a great learning platform in terms of networking, in terms of developing yourselves on all levels, on your professional level, on your personal level, on your spiritual level. I would encourage any young persons, because it's tough. It's a tough environment, and it actually prepares you to go out into the world and to become a better person, because trust me, you may think you have a good resume, but there's always going to be somebody who's better. So what are you really bringing to the table?
Right.
You.
Well said.
Yes.
Well said. So we've started off with that, and let's incorporate the fashion into it, because all what you've told us already, were you fashionable at that time? Did you have a sense of or a love for fashion then?
I always had a love for fashion, but it stemmed from my family and the beautiful women in my family. Anytime we went shopping, my aunt would say, oh, try this on, or oh, let me see how that fit. Oh, no, I don't like the tone of that on your skin tone. So it was like from the time I was young, and I remember my aunt's buying me boots, even when, we're in St. Lucia, but I always found them fashionable, and I would wear them with my shorts and wear them with t-shirts and stuff like that. So I never realized it until I actually sat down and started to do my autobiography when it all started. It was embedded in me from then. The colors, the shades, matching, putting things together. And I did art when I went to the St. Joseph's Convent.
Okay.
I was really good at it, but I sort of, I didn't pay close attention to it as much. But now, in terms of the mixing of the colors and the integration, I use it a lot right now.
So art in terms of you draw?
I draw, yes.
Ooh.
And paint.
And paint.
And paint.
Woo. So you're a creative.
I am.
You really are.
Very creative. I can... In terms of colors, in terms of decor, I love to play with decors. I actually design my store's layouts by myself.
Well, I was going to get... we will get into that. We come into that because that alone is like a wow factor. So, yes, did you ever think that you would have to use your skill in art later in life or, in this industry?
Actually, I never really think about it. I think that you're equipped with the tools that you need at the time that you need those tools.
And you don't even know it.
And you don't even know it. It's like you think that, okay, I may not have the resource for that, but technically when you look around you, you do have the resource. Especially now, with COVID being at the forefront of a lot of conversations as it relates to businesses and stuff, you find yourself sitting down and saying, but hey, you have all those talents and skills and resources around you, So what are you really going to do with that? So I am so happy that I'm able to use all the talents, the hidden talents that were inside me, instilled from when I was very young, actually, and I could put it towards an impressionable product right now.
Right. So let's transition. At what point did you say, you know what, I want to open my own business. I want to start that creative process in another way. When did it all click and come together for you?
Actually, every time I travel, I would tell my friends, okay, you have something coming up, let me get you this item, or that doesn't go good together. And there was one time that I was traveling, and my little sister Elise, she looked at me and she said, but this suitcase is only for people, you don't have anything for yourself. And then I sat down and I realized, she was like 18 at the time, and I realized that, hey, she's right. And she's like, why don't you just open a store? So believe it or not, I started selling to my friends in Castries, walking around literally, selling to them. So I started off with a few products, nice shorts, nice tees, nice tanks, and going around and selling to them. And they would tease me and call me the amigo, which I have no problem with.
Right.
And then, but the items were being sold. And then it turned into me testing the waters, and I opened a beautiful store in the Vieux-Fort location just to test it out. Because if it can thrive in Vieux-Fort, which is pretty much not as fast as Castries or the Rodney Bay area, it would thrive anywhere.
That's smart thinking.
Yes, so that's that's how you have to look at it from a business and marketing perspective. If you can tap into the market, a market like St. Lucia, and make an impression even in the southern regions, then you could make it in the north of the island.
Okay.
So that is what I did. I really had a good support system around me, advising me and coaching me, friends, very close friends, family, around me, supporting me. You should do this, you should do that. And I've along the way, I've met a lot of other business women like myself who've also guided me along in terms of what they did.
Okay.
And I've learned a lot from them, and I give them the credit for some of my success today.
Right.
So that's pretty much how it started.
So when you started off, like you said, in the South, which is not a common practice for business owners, they tend to just go big in the North, but you went around it a different way.
Yes.
At some point, did you feel like it was pretty much a huge challenge to take on. A lot of people to actually to have a business, get a store.
Yes.
You have to invest. You have to put in a lot in terms of getting your product out there.
Yes.
Did it ever feel like a little overwhelming? Did it feel like, okay, what if this doesn't work and I've put in everything into this business?
So as an entrepreneur, you have those feelings probably every single day. You feel, and I know I'm not alone, you're like, what did I do? And then you have 2 seconds to yourself and you're like, okay, this is the commitment, this is the strive, this is what you do. And you are constantly reminded. Like anytime a wall seems to be in front of you, there's always someone to help you get over that wall.
Okay.
A situation to help you remind you that, hey, this is your purpose. This is why you're here. And you're here to serve. And a very integral part, anytime I have those down moments or, like, what am I doing? In terms of spirituality, I put God first in everything. And I say, God, if you give me the green light, I'm going. And when he presents himself and he gives me the green light, I could be shaking in my shoes, but I have to go.
Okay.
I trust it.
Right.
I trust it. And I believe that any blockage that you get at any particular time in your life, it is for a redirection. And it's the redirection, more often than not, would leave you in a better position. Sometimes we get so discouraged and why that didn't work out. And you're like, you sit back and you're like, why? But then when you look back and you're like, oh, he was pointing me in a better direction. And it's funny with the Rodney Bay store, it was really a leap of faith because I had it in the planning for 2 years now. And people will say, oh my gosh, she's doing so well. It's like, no, it was down in the books and it's like now or never.
Right.
Let's do it.
You just took the leap. So from your VA4 location, what year did you open in the South?
It's been 5 years since we're open the dresser. After 2 years, my clients from Viewfort are like, oh, it's always a struggle. Castries has better things than Viewfort, or Viewfort, Castries has better than Rodney Bay. So it's a constant battle, constantly. When technically, no. What used to happen is Viewfort always had the most beautiful things because it was the first location.
Okay.
And my staff, they would interchange. So my staff from Castries would go to Viewfort, switch out stock, and bring to Castries.
Okay. There's a method behind the madness.
It's a method,
right?
And actually, so that's what happened. So I went away for a while because my major is actually I studied hospitality management, and I went. I actually got a stint to work overseas, so I went for a few years. So I closed the Viewfort store down and just kept Castries running and open. But since I'm back in St. Lucia for the past 2 years, I had the Rodney Bay project, so I just had to get it done.
Right.
Yeah.
So how are you able to manage, not being here and still running a business in Castries?
Wow, that was the most difficult point of the business because I basically had to do everything from procurement, searching of stock, ensuring that the delivery of the stock was on time. And I must commend my staff at that time. They held it together. Everything, my broker, everybody worked together. For me, I did the bulk end of the work, but in terms of putting the pricing in the system and everything, I did those things behind the scenes.
Wow.
When nobody is looking. So it's a lot of work that went into that period and a lot of integration, but we kept up on social media. We kept pushing. Sometimes it's a one-man show behind the scenes because I'm the marketer. I'm doing promotions. I'm doing ads. I'm doing packaging. I'm doing deliveries. It's
resourcing the clothing.
It's everything in one.
Right.
I have a really good support system who really, they always cheer me on and say, keep going.
Right.
Keep going. Never give up. Never, ever, ever give up. And there've been times, other projects where I've given up in my life, but this one, I'm not giving up.
No matter what.
No matter
I love
what.
that. So you did say that your Ronnie Bay location, the expansion was down on the cards, and come hell or high water, we were going to Ronnie Bay.
We're going.
So how were you able to execute that? What year did you open officially at Ronnie Bay?
Oh, we just opened in October. Of last year.
Yes.
But we acquired the lease. I went to see the space and I absolutely love it. And I said, God, I have no idea how we're going to pull this off. That's right in the peak. That's in August. That's just after we opened after COVID.
Yeah.
So we went to the location. We absolutely loved it. And it was like, okay, God, we put the cards on the table. What's happening now? It was like step by step. I ran I said, okay, God, if you make me make this, I'm going to go and put that amount to secure the place. And that is exactly what happened.
Wow. So
It
you
was
really
like-
walk by faith.
It's just all by faith.
Okay.
It is all by faith. There's no backup plan. There's no because by now, if you use your 6 months of reserve, which is what businesses actually recommend for you to have, we would have been out of the reserve by now, right? So it's actually just walking by faith. And I must tell you that my clients are absolutely amazing. Amazing. They rally behind the Dresser brand more than I could even fathom. It's like at the point when you think like, oh my gosh, where are we? There's always someone to come and say, hey, you're doing amazing, you know? So I really, really, really love my clients and their support has been unwavering.
Now, the name, The Dresser, honestly, just last night I put it together that it had a double meaning.
Yes.
Initially, I thought it was just, like your go-to wardrobe. You just go to the dresser and you must find something to wear. But there's more behind it. So let's go through that.
There's actually more behind it. So when we first came up with the dresser, the concept of the dresser, it was actually playing on words.
Right.
Yes, a physical dresser in terms of a storage for your clothing, but actually as being your stylist, telling you how to dress, what to wear, when to wear it. Because I as a young person growing up, I'm very tall, so my size, I wore size 11 for shoes, and for clothing, I could never really get my size right. And I felt like I could make a contribution in that way in terms of advising people, telling them what to wear, when to wear it, and how to wear it. And in the dressing room, you realize when my clients are in the most vulnerable state that I'm actually not just dressing them, I'm actually tapping into them on an emotional level, because many a time women, they are so successful, you see them coming into the dressing room and you think they're such powerhouses on the outside. It's when they get undressed you really see the vulnerability
and the insecurities tend
and
to show, right? And it
insecurities
happens with everybody.
It happens. Life happens. People have kids. People put on weight for medical reasons and all different types of reasons. So we basically style persons, meaning quote unquote the dresser,
right,
for specific events, birthdays, anniversaries. Right now, our core focus is on changing our marketing campaign and really focusing on the styling aspect and letting people know that that's why we're here, to assist you, to help you with your styling and to look better, to feel better, to be a better you.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of people, I'm sure, may be looking at your store, looking at your social pages, and the insecurities may come out. They may say, okay, well, they won't have anything for me, etc. So what do you offer to your clients? What type of clients would you do you service at the dresser?
So we carry sizes from extra small all the way up to 3X.
Ooh.
Yes, so we carry all the way up to 3X. The trick is because the large, extra large is the most popular sizes in store, you find that I literally have clients who call me and say, okay, it's new arrivals for new stock. We're coming. Literally, they are there with the unpacking. And then they come and they reserve their items. And then after I price and then I bill them, I send them the billing. So that's really how it works.
Okay.
They literally come in, okay, what do you have? I have this. And we consult with them on a one-on-one basis in that regard, even before the items arrive.
Nice. Now let's talk about, because we did mention your storefront and how beautiful it looks.
Yes.
Of course, we see your designing, tentacles working there. Let's talk about how you were able to come up with the look, the feel, what theme you wanted to carry throughout with your brand.
The color pink is my favorite color.
Okay.
So I wanted it to be nice and vibrant and welcoming to the eye. So that I knew for sure would be the predominant color. Black is always a neutral color, and it symbolizes a lot in terms of us, our people, our Caribbean heritage. So I added the black to that. A pop of yellow in terms of the logo is for the sunshine, which we have here in St. Lucia.
Is she going deep?
I'm very deep. I go very deep because every aspect of it was well thought out. So in terms of the color scheme, I wanted it to be a place where you could feel comfortable. You could walk in and have a glass of wine or a cup of tea and just have a chit chat whilst you shop, which is really the environment which we have at the Dresser.
Right.
We come, we speak, we talk about all different types of issues. We have tea, we have coffee, we have water, we have wine, and it's just like someone said to me, it's just a vibe.
Right. Okay.
You know?
Nice.
So that brings the bond between the customer and us, and it actually makes them very comfortable to tell us. You know, like the bond you'll have with your hairstylist or your nail technician. This is the bond that you will have with your dresser. With your dresser.
So it's not just your average clothing store where you come in. You'll have a large in this. No, Michael, we don't have.
No, this is not
nothing like that.
No, how are you? We go deep. We said, how is your day? How is everything? You know, we get really personal in a friendly way with our clients, just to do an evaluation. So that's where our assessment starts.
Okay.
Our team is trained to not give the monotonous like how are you? You know, they're trained to tap in and to make the customer feel comfortable and to have them, you know, feel warm and welcome. Just as how if I would walk into a boutique or a stylist, how would I want to feel?
Right.
You know? So it's all about attitudes. And once you make your clients feel comfortable, they would then feel in turn comfortable to be styled by you.
Now, how are you able to manage a team? Because your team really reflects your brand. It could make or break your brand. No matter how good you are personally, if your team isn't doing a good job, it won't reflect right on your brand.
Actually,
so how are you able to do that?
The human resource aspect is the most challenging in terms of finding the right staff, finding the right fit, and to have that level of commitment that you have. Because initially when I started this, I never got paid for this. It's just, yes, I own the business, but you have to eject so much into the business that, okay, in the beginning you were neglected as yourself. So I was all this passion and all this love for what I did. That's really what it was. But for an employee, you remember, they're coming to an establishment, they have their families, they have their responsibilities. For them to match your passion, they really have to feel that passion from you. For it to be passed on to them technically.
Right.
So, you know, that was the most challenging aspect. And you know, everybody's a different personality.
Right.
I am a little bit of a I'm a little bit of a perfectionist, which I have learned it doesn't always work as being a perfectionist. Sometimes the imperfections is what really makes it unique. So now I'm riding on the imperfections. I am embracing the imperfections, and I am learning to deal with the imperfections and embracing that imperfections are beautiful.
Right. Nice. Well said. So, Trisha, how were you able to manage? Because I don't know how the clothing industry has done. We've seen a lot of successful brands close down during COVID. Brands that a lot of people didn't expect to, be impacted in this way by COVID-19. A lot of people the world over, we don't really have anywhere to go.
That is true.
We feel, I'm sure there's some people who feel like, okay, I have clothes and I don't have anywhere to wear it to, or some people may say, well, maybe I don't have anywhere to go to, so I may not need it. So how are you able to work around that and still be able to thrive?
Facets to different revenue streams when it comes to our business module.
Okay.
So one of the revenue streams is, you may tell us, okay, I have nowhere to go, but I'm sure you have a wardrobe and a closet where you don't know what to pair with what. So we could come in and provide you the service where we could actually organize your wardrobe according to day wear, evening wear, and tell you what to wear with what. Because maybe you've been wearing the same gray skirt with the same blouse for forever. And yet still you have so many other beautiful things which you could pair it with.
But you just don't know it. So that's where your skill with maneuvering the fabrics.
It's called wardrobe styling.
Wardrobe styling, right?
Yes, so that's where wardrobe styling comes in. So we definitely have that aspect, which is one aspect of business which clients can actually book with us.
Okay.
We've actually done it in the past with one client, and she was very pleased. She gave her feedback. She was our first client, and she absolutely loved it. And we've actually done quite a few since then. So then there's your birthday. So there must be your birthday or your friends, your family's birthday, your mom, your sister, your friend's birthday, where you would have to be styled for, or they may have to be styled, or you may need a gift for them to bring to the birthday or to send to them. So we definitely cater to all of those things. And because we're not just a walk-in boutique that people can come to, we give advice and we give advice, and persons can come to us for all those different things. I think that would definitely help to keep the cash flow coming in for us. And though sometimes it gets really tight, because it's not like we can predict the seasons. Right now. I'm so grateful. God has really kept us afloat and held our hands and given us what we need to survive. Yeah.
So what's next for you, Trisha? What's next for your brand, The Dresser?
I'll be very honest. When I look at The Dresser, I look at a brand where it signifies everything to us as a people in terms of St. Lucia and the Caribbean has to stand for. So you never know what island we may be popping up in next,
nice.
Or it's down there. You never know what opportunities create itself. So we're gonna be remaining open as it relates to all those opportunities.
Okay.
And we have many because of this CSME, many St. Lucians living in the Caribbean, and many other persons from other countries who are here in St. Lucia, who are able to work, who's supporting our brand, and who's familiar with our brand. So you never know, we may be able to tap into their territories because of those connections and be able to offer other services to other parts of the Caribbean. We normally service persons via we don't have our website up for shopping as yet, but hopefully in the near future that will become available.
Okay.
But right now people actually shop just from Instagram and Facebook.
Yes.
And we ship to them right now. So definitely the interest is there. There must be something that we could style someone for. So that's keeping us.
Okay.
That's really keeping us.
Well,
really.
your drive has been to help persons find the best version of themselves.
Yes.
And that is very admirable. Of course, you've been able to thrive in these tough times, so we congratulate you for that.
Thank you.
We wish you all the very best for the future. How could persons stay updated with you? Give us your locations as well, your social media handles.
Sure. So, yes, like we mentioned prior, we're located at the JQ Rodney Bay Mall. And we also have an additional location on Jeremy Street next to Subway in Castries. You could reach us at The Dresser SLU on Facebook and Instagram and on TikTok. So stay in touch. We love all of you. Have a phenomenal week. Stay motivated. Stay hydrated. Stay true to you.
And there's something you I noticed on your social media about just taking care of yourself in general.
Yes.
What are some of the tips you could give to somebody who may be feeling a little it happens, just to keep them going?
Sure. What works for me is I exercise. I go on long walks, especially on the morning and where there's the stillness and you hear the birds chirping and the sun. The sun plays an integral part. You see the sun coming up and you really get grounded in that way. And it's a good time for your prayers, for your meditation, for really to focus on your day and focus on you. That's what works for me. Another thing works for me is to just plant myself in the sand, my legs in the sand, and go to the ocean. And the ocean is a body of so many secrets, but it's just so refreshing. It refreshes you. For persons who cannot travel like they would normally do, I like to travel. I like to go to different exposes and see what the fashion, what's latest in the fashion, what's happening. Who cannot travel as much as I wouldn't like to.
Right.
That's what I do. That's what I go to. I do my exercise, stay hydrated. My spirituality is very important to me, so I always put God first. I always spend time in prayer, and everybody knows my prayer time cannot be disturbed.
Wow. Okay.
So I would put my do not disturb on the door for my prayer time.
Wow.
Yes.
And for all those who looking to venture into the world of entrepreneurship, what advice would you have for them? Those who are probably a little scared to go further or to even get their feet wet because of the challenges that may come up, etc., or they don't think they have it in them to get there.
We all have it within us. I believe we all have those unique talents within us. It's just, don't be afraid to take the first step, because after the first step, everything else flows. It's just the first step is the hardest. So if you need to make that call, if you need to reach out to that bank, if you need to reach out to that institution, if you need to make that call, if you because we procrastinate on just the simple things, but it's the simple things that lead to the big things.
Right.
So you make the call, you never know what response is going to be on the other side of the line. So even if you make 1 million calls, the 1,000,001 may be the answer to say yes. So you get out there and promise me that you're going to make the 1,000,001 call.
Love that. Thank you so much for joining us, Trisha. A lot of people are saying via our WhatsApp that they feel so inspired by your words. So it's great. That's what we love to share with our listeners. So thank you so much for joining us.
For having me.
Congratulations and all the best. Future success for you and The Dresser. Behind the Business brought to you compliments Quartz Ready Cash. And remember, if you're struggling because you don't have enough money, no worries. Whether it's for bills, repairs, or just an emergency, Quartz Ready Cash is here to get you that money you need now. You could get up to $20,000 if you need to get the dream started as well. You could check them out. No deposit is required. So if that has been your stumbling block, that has been the wall in front of you, well, no more. Quartz Ready Cash is here to get you through over that wall. The service is fast and hassle-free. Same-day approval as well. So contact Quartz Ready Cash today and start fresh with the cash that you need. You could visit any branch or apply online, www.readyfinancecaribbean.com. Quartz Ready Cash, ready when you are. Behind the Business today, Tuesday. Thank you so much for joining us once again, Trisha, The Dresser.
Thank you.
The faces of the brands you know and don't know. The masterminds behind the businesses you support. The creators of products that you love. Tune in and be inspired. Behind the Business. Tuesdays at 1 p.m. only on The Wave.